If you're a content creator, coach, or a business owner, imagine getting hundreds of DMs on your WhatsApp every day flooded with brand deals, fan messages, spam. How much of a waste of time it is to go through each of them one by one. What if you had an AI-powered WhatsApp DM manager that automatically organizes your messages into paid collaboration and even reply for fan messages or ignores the spam? In this video, I'm going to show you how to build your own AI-powered WhatsApp DM manager in n8n step by step. But before we do that, let's sketch the rough workflow so you understand the logic. I'm an all-stack developer with 15 years of experience and work with technologies like Ruby on Rails, Java, Node.js, and AWS. Also work with global giants like Prudential. Scaled backend systems for unicorn startup Ola Electric for the e-scooter launch, and even co-founded a UK-based startup as a CTO. But there's an elephant I could not ignore in the technology world: AI. And I have completely pivoted my career into it. I'm doing it in public, building, experimenting, and sharing everything along the way. If you want to stay ahead and learn to build some AI workflows that can save you time, scale your businesses effortlessly, and also make you some money, then let's dive in. Let's start with our first node, which is going to be a WhatsApp trigger. Now from this node, we are going to receive a message. That message we can forward to another node, which will be some sort of a AI. Now what will this AI do? This will filter out the messages based on its intent. Now if you're a creator, what kind of messages do you receive? Of course, you receive collaboration opportunities, and you must be getting a lot of fan messages. And of course, you will be getting too many spams a day. Depending on if it's a collaborator message, what your workflow might look like. You may want them to forward to a Google form so that they can fill out the details regarding the collaboration. Now, a fan message, you can just send them a reply. Something like, "Thanks for the message, I'll get back to you." And spam, we will not do anything. This is what we have for our workflow that we are going to build in n8n. Let's start with the first step. If you remember our sketch, the first step is a WhatsApp node, which is also a trigger. Let's add an app event. And we are going to search for WhatsApp. Select on WhatsApp Business Cloud. And it's a trigger which works on message. On the credential to connect with, you might not have any credential. You need to click on Create New Credential, which will open up this screen. Here it's asking for two inputs: client ID, client secret. Now, if you don't know what any of this is, you can simply click on this link, Open Doc, and it will open the n8n documentation page for you, where you can see all the required information that is needed for a n8n WhatsApp trigger to work. But I'm going to show you how you can do it. For that, you need to first be registered on the Facebook developer account. And after you have registered yourself on the Facebook developer account, you're going to click on apps. You need to create a new app. Now, while creating the new app, Facebook will ask you various information regarding to your app. For example, app name. I have entered test app. And clicking on next. Now in this step, you're going to click on Other, where it says Explore other products and data permissions, such as ads management, WhatsApp, and more. And then click on Next. And here you are going to select Business and click on Next. And finally, you'll have this Create App button. Once you click on this, you'll have your app created. Now I will use my existing app, so I'm not going to create a new app now. I will use one of my own earlier created app for the purpose of this video. You would be displayed a dashboard screen just like this. On the left navigation, there is an app settings. Click on the drop down and then click on basic. Here you have various basic information for your app displayed. For example, its name. But what we are interested in is app ID and app secret. You can copy this one by one and paste it in your N8N WhatsApp or auth dialog. The app ID goes to client ID and app secret goes to client secret. Now I have already done it, and that's why it is already showing me my existing credential. Let's test the setup, and I'm going to click test setup either here or here. Both are fine. Now once I do that, it says listening for test event. So I have sent a message, and as you can see here in the output, in the text body, hi, how are you? And that's what the message I have typed on my WhatsApp. N8N really helps us while development, and for that it has a feature called pin data. Once we click on that, our output is frozen within our WhatsApp trigger. Now every time I open up my WhatsApp trigger, I will have my output available for me. Now with this step, our WhatsApp trigger is completed. Now let's head back to our drawing. The next step is AI. And for this tutorial, I'm going to use Google Gemini. So let's add that. I'm going to click plus sign here and I'm going to select Advanced AI. And if you remember our drawing, we are actually trying to identify the intent of our message. And based on the intent, we are going to send it into few different branches. In this case, 3. For this, N8N has an inbuilt node, and that is called sentiment analysis. And as we can see, our input from the previous node, which is a WhatsApp node, is ready here. Now, before I do any further changes to this node, I'm going to add our Gemini model. So I'm clicking on model and selecting Google Gemini chat model. Here again, you might not have any credentials connected, which is fine. So you can click on create new credential. Like earlier, you can click on open doc to read further about it. I'm going to show you. Now for this, you need to come to aistudio.google.com and click on this button called Get API Key on the top left. Once you click, you will end up in the screen like this. Here you have another button called Create API Key. After you click it, it will ask you to select your Google Cloud project. Once you select your Google Cloud project, you can click on Create API Key in the existing project. And that's it. You'll have your API key ready, which you can copy from here and then come back to your N8N and paste it here. But I have already done it. So I'm going to close this dialog. And for the model, I'm going to select Gemini Flash 2.0. And let's get back to our canvas. As you can see, we have Google Gemini connected. Now I want to make adjustments to my sentiment analysis node. So I'm going to double click it. First thing, I'm going to change my sentiment categories, which is currently set as positive, neutral, negative. Just by changing these, it may not work. So we have to also update the system prompt template. Here, I'm going to do very small change. I'm going to replace everywhere it says sentiment with intent. So you are a highly intelligent and accurate intent analyzer. Analyze the intent of the provided text. Categorize it into one of the following categories, which is collaborate or fan message or spam. And use the provided formatting instructions. Only output the JSON. Here we are seeing a warning, and that says parameter text to analyze is required. And that is what our Gemini model is going to analyze for the intent. I want to test my node. And for that, I'm going to use some pre-existing messages. I have a message which reads as, we offer guaranteed followers and likes for just $5. Buy now. And I'm going to test. And as we can see here, we have 3 different tabs: collaborate branch, fan message branch, and spam branch. Let me explain what that means. If you go back to Canvas, you can see our sentiment analysis node has three outputs: collaborate, fan message, and spam. And these each node output are based on the sentiment categories that we have put in. The message that we have put in is coming out of a spam branch. What that means is, in our node, when that message comes as an input, Google Gemini model is going to analyze the intent, and output is as a spam message. So it's going to go through this particular branch, not these other two. Which is correct. This message is actually an spam message. Now let's try another one. Now I'm going to test with one more kind of message. We are launching a new product and would like to feature it on your page. Let's connect and test setup. Okay, so this time it says it's a collaborate branch, which is exactly right. Now here in the text body, you might still see the old WhatsApp message or original WhatsApp message, which is perfectly fine. But our Gemini model is analyzing based on this input. So as we can see, our Gemini model is correctly able to identify the intent behind the messages that we are entering. Now let's do the last step and just drag and drop our text body to the text to analyze. And this will dynamically update this text to analyze based on the WhatsApp messages that we sent. And with this setup, our sentiment analysis node is also ready. To save us some time, I have already implemented that. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I have done. For the collaborate branch, I have decided to save my messages in the Google Sheets. In the collaborate, when you click the plus icon, we are going to select an action in an app. From here, you can select Google Sheet. Once you do that, you're going to select option Append Row in Sheet. That will add the Google Sheet node and will open this dialog. Again, you need credentials to connect with. Click on Create New Credential. It will ask you to sign in with Google. Once you're signed in with Google, your credentials will be available here. For the resource, we are going to select Sheet within Document. Operation is Append Row. And before doing this step, you must have an existing Google Sheet onto which you want to save your data. And that's what I've selected. This WhatsApp DM Analyzer is a Google Sheet in my Google Drive, as you can see here. And then within that Google Sheet document, I have selected my Sheet 1. Now for mapping, I have selected map each column manually, which is based on the header of each column which were present in my Google Sheet. So each header from the column will get listed here in the values to send. And what we are going to do is we are going to map each of these values from our previous message, populating the information from our previous node to each of these values. And with that, our Google Sheet node is ready. For the fan message node, I have again selected the WhatsApp. And this time I have selected it from the action in the app. WhatsApp Business Cloud. Send message. Once you do that, you'll have WhatsApp node. This time you have to add a different credentials here. It will ask for access token and business account ID, which I'm going to show you how you can get. Go back to your app again on Facebook Developer, and on your left navigation, click on WhatsApp. Open the drop down and click on API Setup. Here on top, you'll have an area for access token. Click on Generate Access Token, and it will generate your access token, and you can just simply copy it from here and paste it in the access token field. Now for your business account ID, if you see in the step 1 select phone numbers, below the from number drop down, you have two IDs, phone number ID and WhatsApp business account ID. You are going to select WhatsApp business account ID, copy it and paste it in the business account ID. And that's it. You'll have your WhatsApp account credential created. For resorts, it's a message operation is send. Sender phone number, I'm using the test number which is associated with my Facebook account. The recipient phone number, I'm picking it from the oncoming message. Message type is text. And for the purpose of this video, I'm sending a static message as a reply. Thank you for your message. Please visit my Instagram page to see my latest photo album. And that's it. Our WhatsApp reply node is also ready. For the spam, we are not going to do anything. And that you can get from the core area of your nodes. If you scroll a bit down, you'll see no operation, do nothing. That handles each of our intent output from the sentiment analysis. While testing it, I came across an issue. I will explain what has happened there. For that, you can click on the executions. And here you can see there are few errors. Okay, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about this section. So this executions is about every time your entire workflow runs, it is recording the execution data in this tab. Now you can see these many times I have run. And for the execution, you have this lab symbol. Those were the test executions. The ones which are not having this lab symbol are the production run execution. What I observed was whenever I am sending a reply back, WhatsApp node is getting triggered with empty messages. And what that does is this JSON.messages0 becomes undefined. And as we can see, the log cannot read properties of undefined. So to handle this undefined, I have added one if condition here. This is a if node and this is available at the flow section. If. And here, first of all, I have checked if JSON messages 0 exists, and for you also need to check this convert types when required, because messages 0 is an object. And also to make sure we don't error out for any other kind of message like audio or video, I have made sure the type for the message, which is this property, message0.type, is always set to text. Only when these two conditions are satisfied using this AND operator here, our flow is going to further continue with this true branch. Like sentiment analysis, this again has divided our flow in the two different branches. One is for true, one is for false. True and false is decided based on the conditions, this and this. And both has to be true. With that, our flow is ready. And then what you need to do is click on save. After you save it, you click on active. Once it is active, you can start sending your WhatsApp messages to test if your entire flow is working fine or not. And I have done some tests ahead of time. I can show you it is working exactly how I intended to. My Google Sheet is capturing all the collaboration related messages. I'm getting the reply back for the fan messages, and every spam is just getting ignored. With that, we have built an AI-powered WhatsApp DM manager. Can you believe it? Which instantly filters messages into collaboration opportunities, fan messages, and spam, saving you hours of manual work. Imagine how much time you'll be freeing up to focus on things like creating content, closing deals, and avoiding those annoying spam messages. But this is not it. We can actually do a lot more using N8N and further adding onto the same workflow. You know, some collaboration opportunities might be of more priority to you, like they may be of higher value. You may want to send them to some sort of funnel pipeline, like a CRM. You can do that. Or instead of Google Sheet, you can send your messages to other apps like Airtable, or Notion, you can even implement a full-on RAG system that pulls out information from your database. And by database, I mean even something very simple like a brochure for your deals and offers. We can do a lot here. The possibilities are endless. And if you really want to see what more we can do, not just in this workflow, but with some new kind of workflow. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss on any of my next video, which will be of another very useful workflow like this. And I'm also sharing automation tips and strategies over my LinkedIn, for which the link is available on the screen and as well as in the description. If you're serious about scaling your content and business with AI, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be very happy to have you in my network there. Let me know, what's the next automation you would love to see?